How's it going, everyone? So the Packers have officially dropped their Friday injury report, and you know how during a bye week, we went into it, we were kind of injured. You're supposed to get healthier. That doesn't seem to be the case for the Packers, and they somehow came out more injured after the bye week, which is very strange. And this team cannot seem to get healthy. So to start off, Jaire Alexander, after not being on the injury report Wednesday and being a limited participant Thursday, he did not participate on Friday with that back injury once again flaring up, and he has been designated as questionable for game time. Next up, Zane Anderson had a hamstring injury, limited participant all week and today. Also a questionable designation. He hasn't played at all really this season, so there's no real hurt there. Next up, Devondre Campbell has that ankle injury that he sustained a few weeks ago. He didn't participate Wednesday or Thursday and was a limited participant today. But despite that, he is doubtful to be playing this Sunday, and he's probably not going to play at all. Next up, we have Elgton Jenkins. After that sprained MCL, he was a limited participant on Wednesday and Thursday and did not participate Friday and has a questionable tag for his game time status. Now, Matt LaFleur did state that the reason he did not participate was precautionary, which could be a good sign, but we don't truly know if he will actually play this Sunday against the Broncos, but hopefully he does suit up. Next up, Aaron Jones, still with that hamstring injury, was a limited participant all week, has a questionable tag on him. Now, he did look good in practice, and it would seem like he could be ready to go against the Broncos. The problem is, we thought the same thing against the Raiders, and then out of nowhere, he didn't play against the Raiders. So as of right now, he looks good and should play, but based off what happened with the Raiders, we'll know right before game time, unfortunately. And they're going to give up to that time, of course. Next up, Josh Nijman with a knee injury. He wasn't on the injury report at all on Wednesday and Thursday, and then became a limited participant with the knee injury, and now has a questionable tag on him, which could play a part because of the Elgton Jenkins situation. Also, if they are still comfortable with Quay Walker over there at left tackle, because he did start off good in Bakhtiari's absence, but the last two games he's played, he's kind of looked kind of terrible. So I don't know if they're going to go in a different direction or if Quay Walker will still get that spot at left tackle and if Zach Tom will stay at right tackle. But as of right now, that could play a part. But hopefully the knee injury isn't serious because we do need him for our swing tackle, especially with how injuries seem to be amongst our offensive line and our team. Next, Darnell Savage has a calf injury. He was a limited participant all week and also has a questionable game day designation. And most of these questionable ones, it's kind of up in the air. There's few players that's hey, they're questionable, but they're going to play. Very few of them are certain to play. So we're going to have a lot of players that we're going to find out who's going to suit up and who's not going to suit up come Sunday. Eric Stokes, he is still on the injury reserve, but he is showing up on the injury report. And this is going to kind of be interesting what the Packers decide. So Eric Stokes had that foot injury. He was a limited participant all week because they're in that window where they can pretty much have him practice for about 21 days to see what they want to determine and do with him. Do they keep him on injury report, shutting him down for the year, or do they bring him back? So he is tagged with a questionable tag. Now, it's interesting because Jaire Alexander, once again, has that back injury, and with that flaring up, he hasn't been suiting up for game time. So then it comes to, well, Carrington Valentine is usually the person suiting up on the outside opposite of Rasul Douglas. But last time against the Lions, he kind of was benched, and then Corey Ballantyne took over for Carrington Valentine. But the problem with Ballantyne, considering he's on the practice squad, is he's already been called up 3 times. So if they decide to call him up again, it's going to be similar to what happened with Patrick Taylor. We're going to have to release someone, make some room, because he's going to have to officially sign with the 53-man roster. Or, depending on how they feel with Eric Stokes, they could take him off IR and go that route, especially since he is one of our starting corners. And they initially planned to have him just kind of play some special teams, get into the game day swing. But with that Jaire Alexander injury, it's going to be interesting what the Packers decide. Next up, we have Quay Walker with that knee injury. He was a limited participant all week and has a questionable tag. He is probably going to suit up. He has a high likelihood, unlike the other players that are on this injury report, to actually play, and hopefully he does because he was well missed. Then Devontae Wyatt with a knee injury was also a limited participant all week and has a questionable tag. he's probably going to suit up as well. But of course, take all that with a grain of salt because we've had some players in the past this year who we expected to fully suit up and not suit up, and they were not active for the game. So all in all, the Packers have 9 players, or 10 players if you include Eric Stokes, despite being on IR, on the injury report. So it is a lengthy injury report for this. Now, over on the Broncos side of the injury report, theirs is very clean and cut. They have 6 players officially that were on the injury report, but pretty much 5 of those 6 players have been full participants and they're good to go for the game. And the only player that's actually officially out for them is tight end Greg Dulcich. And that about wraps up our injury report. And as you can see, it is a very lengthy one and a very questionable one. But let me know what you think down in the comments. If you liked the video, hit the like button, subscribe to the channel, and as always, go Pack Go.